The art scene in New Orleans is different than any place. I think that if you ask an artist, a prominent artist, to show in many major cities, they would ask questions like, how well you think it's going to do, or what's your expectation? You say, would you like to do a show in New Orleans? And they go, oh God, yes, I'd love to do a show in New Orleans. When we opened the gallery, I felt like we knew everybody in the art business, the artists in New Orleans. Now I don't feel like I know anyone. I mean, it's just so big, it's so vast, and it's grown so much. And it's really incredibly exciting, because that's what we're all working for. There's a very rich history of Southern art, and that has continued to this day. There was something unique about New Orleans art. There was something that was different than what you would see in major art centers. And you have art that's being influenced by Mardi Gras, and you have Mardi Gras, which is imitating art. Through listening to artists like Ida Kohlmeyer talking about the influence of color on the work, mythology, with George Deroe, for example, the fascination and the sort of rooted history of mythology in Mardi Gras. Growing up in New Orleans, of course, I'm very familiar with the Mardi Gras Indians and have a great reverence for what they do and the pageantry and the beauty of the work that they do. And I went to Jazz Fest, and there was, the artist craft booths, and Damon Moulassan was there, Chief Moulassan. And he was beading, and he was making these portraitures, which were intended to be objects that you would purchase at Jazz Fest. And it was a very exciting moment for me, because these windows open and close in the art world, and that was definitely one. Immediately asked Damon to do a show, if he was interested in doing this, that I wanted to help him. I wanted to be a part of this, and asked him to do a show, and we pretty much hit it off from the very first moment.
Being a Mardi Gras Indian in New Orleans is everything for youth, for me as a youth, and it's brought a lot of love to our community throughout the years of me being living. And I started beading in 1992. I learned how to bead from an elder Indian. His name is Ferdinand Bigard Sr. He was the chief of the Cheyenne Warriors. The big chief is the leader of the neighborhood, like a father of the neighborhood. So my chief had became my lifeline. His name, everybody in the city called him Papa. Papa gave me a butterfly and showed me how to sew from a butterfly. And I bead from 5:30 in the morning to at least 12:30, take a break, go to Bywater Bakery if I can, or make me some more coffee, and I sew from 5:30 until about 12:30 at night. You have to know how to do the technique of drawing and beading and the storytelling in the suits. The storytelling has to make sense, and it can't be some old just made up thing about our community. So most of the times I come up with the African diaspora and study where we coming from to know where we're going. I'm a painter with the beads, and what I want them to get is I come from a lost culture that people don't see unless you come to New Orleans for Mardi Gras. And through the portraiture and taking it out of masking in my suits, I want them to see this as artistry and what it really is. So I poured the concrete that sits in front of this building right now. I worked for Hard Rock Construction, and I remember pouring the street in front of this building. That year, I think I was beading this suit right here, Bras Coupé. So I said one day, I'll be able to walk in there, not knowing I'll be in here, as an artist, as a contemporary artist. But yeah, that's what I usually used to do. I used to bead in the evening times. So this suit, I poured concrete 365 days in the morning, 5:30, get off 5:30, come home 5:30, and bead until like 2, 3 in the morning. New Orleans is a big pot of gumbo. The people leaving out my house and seeing the shotgun houses. The old lady leaving out her house with her basket, going with her little dog, walking to the bakery. In the Bywater where I live at right now, that's where I come from all my life. So it's like waking up being born again. So New Orleans is everything for my art and for Mardi Gras Indian. just as a way of life. New Orleans is everything.